everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Studio Pilates. My name's Hannah, and today I want to take you through a really lovely side kick series which is great for building strength around your hip and your glutes. We're going to put an exercise for your core in the middle of the two side kicks just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I hope you really enjoy this little workout. I'm going to do some exercises to really work into our glutes and build some strength around that hip joint. We're going to lay on our left hand side, work the right, then we'll put something in the middle, and then we will do the other side. So we're coming down onto the mat. The first thing we need to think about is our setup. So your feet should be just in front of you. Your core switched on, rib to hip connection, little gap just under that low side. Chin stays lifted, so try and avoid watching your feet because that's just putting your neck at a really funny angle. Try and keep that head up. You can bring your top hand down in front for some support if you need it. You can also bend that bottom leg. But if you don't need it, take that bottom leg out straight. Top hand can come onto your hip. If you find you're then rolling around quite a lot, top hand back down. Top leg to hip height, core switched on. We're going to start with 5 little raises. So we're just going to raise up and then down to hip height. Up and then down to hip height. So you should feel this working in those glutes. Core stays switched on, little gap stays under your low side. So make sure you're not pushing yourself into the mat when you lift. Final time. Okay, then hold. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to turn that leg so our toes are now pointing at the floor. Core switched on, and then you're going to tap down and up, down and up. So you're lifting it just above hip height, but I don't want you to worry about the height that you can create. I want you to think about how long you can make that leg. 2, keep those toes tapping. Final 1. And then bring it back to the middle, turn that leg around so it's facing forward. Then you're going to turn so your heel is facing the floor. Then we're going to go back and forward. Back and forward. Core stays switched on. Your core is doing a really good job here of stabilizing your whole body. Keeping that heel turned to the floor. Final 1 here. Then bring that leg back to the middle, give it a little rest, give it a little karate chop. Okay, going to do a second set. Core switched on. We're going to do another 5 of each, but if you need to, again, reduce it down. Lifting that leg, and then 5 raises. 3, 2, and final 1. Okay, turning those toes to the floor and tap forward for 5. Keep stretching that leg out, try and make it longer every time. Doing really well. 3, you've got 2 to go. 2, 1. So what we're doing here is we're playing with the different glutes, because there's not just one glute, there's 3, so we're playing with making them all activate instead of just kind of the biggest one, glute max, kind of doing all of the work, which when you go up and down is kind of what's happening. So we're just changing the angle, changing the muscles that are working, so we're getting more of the little intricate muscles that are working into that hip joint to play a bigger role and get involved a bit. Sometimes they get a bit lazy because your big global muscles like glute max kind of take over and do lots of the work for you. So this is a good opportunity to correct some of that. So heel to the floor, we're going to tap back, stretch up, tap back. Keep thinking core. Don't let go of that core. You shouldn't feel like you're falling backwards. If you do, you can always bring that top hand down again. You can also bend that bottom leg for some extra support. Final 2. And final 1. And bring that leg back in. Bring it back down. Gentle or not so gentle karate chop And then we're going to move on to another core exercise on our backs now. So we're coming down onto the mat. Feet are hip distance apart, knees and pelvis knees, hips and pelvis, hip bones are in a straight line, so all going in the same direction. Core switched on, rib to hip. This time I'm going to bring your arms out so they're a little bit further away from your body. It's just going to help you with balance. You're going to keep your feet at hip distance apart. We're going to take an inhale in the middle. Then we're going to exhale and just let those knees roll over to the left hand side. So your right hip can come off the floor, your feet are rolling to the outside, but your shoulder blades are staying stuck to the floor. We're going to take an inhale here. Then we're going to exhale. Pelvic floor, core switched on. Bring those legs back to the middle. Inhale in the middle. Exhale. Roll to the other side. Hold for an inhale. And then exhale. Legs back to the center. Inhale. Remember, as you inhale, release that pelvic floor off. Exhale. Pelvic floor and core. Think rib to hip. Don't let those shoulder blades come off the floor. Hold. Exhale. Back to the center. If you want to develop this and make it more challenging, you can go up to option 2. So you're going to bring both legs into tabletop, knees and feet together. Inhale. Exhale. Same thing. You're going to take those knees over to the side. Shoulder blades stay on the floor. Exhale. Bring them back to the middle. As you bring your knees back, make sure they're coming back on the same path and they're not creeping in any closer. So your body will want them to come closer because it'll make life easier. I want you to keep those knees out at tabletop. If you're finding this too tricky, go back to option 1. Back to both feet flat on the floor. Going to do 2 more to each side. Final 1 to each side. Holding those knees there, using those core muscles. Bring them back, final time. And gently bring those feet back down. You're going to take your right leg out long and then guide your left leg over to the right hand side of your body, holding it there. Then back to the centre. Bring that left leg down, right leg comes up, guide that right leg over to the left hand side, hold it there. Bring that leg back up. Stretch those legs out, arms over your head, full body stretch. And then come back up to sitting. And we're going to go on to our other side of side kicks. So again, working into those hips and glutes. So you're coming down onto your right hand side this time. Thinking about that setup first, remember. So feet are in front of you, chin is lifted, core switched on, little gap under that low side. You can bend that bottom leg for some more support. You can also place that top hand down in front. Hips are staying stacked. We're going for 2 sets of 5. Leg comes up, core on, and lift for 5. Think about the length that you can create through that leg. Don't worry too much about the height. 3, 2, 1. And then turning those toes to face the floor. Toe tap and raise. Core stays switched on. Make sure you're not arching your back as you take that leg back behind you slightly. Keeping those toes tapping the floor. Final one. Then bringing that heel to the floor. Core on, tap back and raise. Keep thinking belly button to spine. Keep that core switched on. Heel to the floor, toes to the sky. So we're working into a different part of those, or different muscles. 3 and 2 and final 1. And then again, bring that leg down, karate chop if it's needed. We're going on to our second set. So lifting that leg, stretching that leg out, raising for 5. Keep thinking belly button to spine, core engage. Final 2. Final 1. Then toes to the floor, tap forward and up. Final 2, final 1, and then bring that foot back, heel to the floor, toes to the sky. Try not to lean backwards. Final 2, core switched on, doing really well. Final 1. And then bringing that leg back down, karate chop if it needs it, and then coming back up. Thanks for joining my side kick series. I hope you feel like you've benefited from the work today. Have an awesome day, and I hope to see you on the mat again very soon. If you are enjoying my videos, please hit subscribe and the little alert button, and then you'll get a notification every time I release a new video. Take care for now. Bye.